Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome to Authors Up. We're glad to have you this evening. I am sorry. I don't know what is with us. We have been in silly mode at the beginning of our program for the last few weeks. And I think it's because we have great authors and great books, and just with the excitement of bringing something new to our audience always makes us feel good and always makes us smile. So we're glad that you are able to come in on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. and join us. We have an exciting show for you today, and I tell you, I just feel like the cat that swallowed the canary.
And I like the music. I just, every time I hear it, I hear a little something different. And tonight, it just sounded like bells to me. And I was like,
well, thank you, everybody. As you know, we like to say this is our favorite place to be on Sunday evenings at 7 p.m. Anytime we can share with you, we are happy to do it. And tonight is going to be a night where we have a fantastic author with a fantastic book. And if you were here last week, you already know a little bit about her and the work that she does. So we are really, really excited to have her. But we are going to start our program like we always do. I'm going to get Miss Ruth and Queen Victoria to welcome you this evening, and then we're going to slide right into that weekend review. So let's start with you, Victoria. You want to greet the folk tonight?
Hello. How's everybody tonight? Hello. Hello. Hey, Bronze Girls.
Where's your crown, girl?
I can't find it.
You gotta find your crown. You gotta get your crown.
I gotta wear it the whole year. This whole year, 60.
Really?
And Ruth, how would you like to say good evening to our listeners and viewers?
I cannot match Victoria's energy, but I can say welcome and thank you for joining us. I don't think anyone can match Victoria's energy.
Is that something we're going for? I don't think so.
No, I think we're good.
At all. Let's go ahead and tell people where we've been this past week, our week in review. And Victoria, we'll start with you tonight.
First,
What's going on in your world? In the queendom. What was going on?
The queen has not been all good this past week, but it's going to be all right. That's why I keep telling myself it's going to be all right. My ongoing back issues. I had my third session in the water therapy for my back, and that is so good. I'm telling you, for 45 minutes, I am weightless and pain-free, and it is a wonderful thing. But when coming out of that pool, I told the lady, I said, "It's that third step. It's that third step." And you know what I'm feeling, that feeling when everything you just get heavy all over again. It's like, oh my goodness. Last week I told her, "Can I have 5 more minutes? Can I have 5 more minutes? I've been good." Just 5 more minutes. But it's going well. And then on Thursday I saw the back doctor, who continues to recommend that I stay in therapy, and just told me it's going to be a marathon, not a sprint. Mm-hmm. That I have to just keep going. And I'm not happy where I am, but I have to keep looking towards the future. So I'm motivated. I am pumped. This time I'm going to follow it through. I'm going to make my point with my nutritionist to, start better in my weight loss process and, get myself together. I've just had, I don't know, just like the light has just come on. And I've known all along that I've needed to do certain things, but this time is different. So I'm, like I said, this week hasn't been the bestest of weeks, but my spirits are good. My spirits are good, and I know I'm on the right path. I know I'm doing the things that I need to do for myself, and I like that. It's my time. It's my time.
There you go. I love it.
That's my week.
Love it. And how about you? Well, when Ruth has a good week, I mean, she always has something out the box. So tell us, share with us, and listeners and audience tonight, Ms. Ruth.
All right. So where was I last week? I was in the Bahamas.
Woo-hoo!
I was enjoying our first cruise. My husband's birthday is on the 31st. My birthday is tomorrow, actually.
Yes.
So our daughter got us a kind of vacation package. Sent us. Well, she joined us. She decided the last minute. She's like, "No, I want to go with you." So we went to the. Where did we go? We went to Nassau, Princess K's, and Turks and Caicos, and it was just amazing. Just amazing. So I would recommend highly everyone do that because number one, we had no internet on the boat. And we were cut off from the rest of the world. It was nice. It was nice. Being offline, it was just wonderful. I would recommend it. I got into the habit of not carrying my phone around. It was like, well, why do I want to take this? I can't call nobody. So I came back and I was leaving my phone everywhere. I'm like, oh yeah, I'm back. So
right, back in the real world.
Yeah, I'm back in the real world.
Nice.
Yep.
Nice.
So back in the real world, we asked our mail carrier to hold all our mail till we got back. So on Friday morning, I'm going through the mail, opening it up. My daughter sends me a package. And it's got a onesie in it and says coming soon. So and she's like, well,
baby on board.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a grandmother. I'm gonna be an abuela. So yeah, I'm excited. So March 29th-ish is the due date. So yeah.
Girl, you too young and sexy to be a grandma.
You know what?
Abuela, excuse me.
So my sister became a grandmother, I think like a year and a half ago.
Right, I remember.
She was complaining. She wasn't complaining, but she was just like, I'm not happy. I'm like, well, why aren't you happy? Your daughter's married. She didn't like the guy, but she was like, it's fine. She's like, I'm 46. I'm too young to be a grandmother. I'm like, really? Can't help you there, but I'll be officially 50 when
the baby
my baby's born. So yeah.
And you're going to be a grandma, and your baby sister is how old?
4.
So she will have, my baby sister will be 4.5 and will have not just nieces and nephews, but now great nieces and nephew. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're going to write a book called The Life and Times of Ruth Griffin.
Ruth Elena Griffin, a.k.a. Abuela.
It is funny. My niece, who's in the Navy, is also pregnant. She's due in March, early March. And when I was telling my dad about it, he was like, no, don't tell me that. And I'm like, no, that makes you a great grandfather. He's like, no, don't tell me that. I'm like, you 70-something years old. You got a 4-year-old daughter. And now you worried about a great grandchild.
Leave him alone. Congratulations. Oh my God.
Life is interesting.
Oh my goodness. Yes, it is. Yes. So there's my week. There's no competition, but Andrea, how was your week?
Definitely.
Right?
What's not as exciting as yours. And I'm okay with that. I don't want any onesies in the mail. So
Right, birthday and a baby.
I'm okay. I am okay. I'm feeling better, which is wonderful. I
Good.
did my last scheduled, I will say scheduled, physical therapy session last week. So I felt good about that. And like you, Victoria, I know what I need to do. I just need to do it.
Yep.
And actually, I'm looking forward to it because I'm looking forward to feeling better.
That's
So
right. That's
you
right.
know, I'm okay with that. And for some reason today, I thought there's so much going on, so many issues because we've all got issues, we've all got a story, and all of that. But right now, I am focused on December because by December, all of these other little issues and things I will have closed the door on.
Good.
There you go.
Good.
To the last month of the year to just do something nice for the people that I love and just relax and not
Yeah.
have a lot of to-dos and a lot of unexpected things happening. And yeah, I'm looking forward to the last month of the year. And I'm looking forward to November because November we are going to do an adaptation of The Train.
Yes.
So any of you who bought the book, any of you who did not get the book and want to know about the story, we got you. November dramatic read every Sunday evening. So that's all I'm gonna tell you. That's
All
all.
right.
That's all I'm gonna tell you because that's all I got. I don't have anything else.
Not bad at all.
Night, special night, and Victoria is gonna tell us why.
All right. For those of you who may have missed Laura's first book, we did a replay last week. So we weren't here. We did a replay last week. And I hope you got to see it. If you didn't, go back and see it so you'll catch up. Laura Elizabeth has enjoyed a long career in business as well as a rich family life that many years ago took her to Dufusky Island in South Carolina for the first time. Together, the family embraced the wonder, the pull that they only found in this special place. They returned again and again to rediscover the island's magic, to walk along its shores with their dogs, explore, treasure hunt, and make family memories. As one of the Atlantic coastal islands, Dufosky has been marked by centuries of American history and was made famous by novelist Pat Conroy's memoir, The Water is Wide, in which he imagined the island in his unique way. From her years of family experiences on the island, Laura imagined Mungeon Island as the home for her cozy series, The Island Mysteries. Again, since we did that replay last week and talked about her first book, All Is Now Lost, tonight we're going to talk with Laura about her book 2 in the series, A Special Kind of Heartbreak. So sit back, relax, and after the break, we will be back with Laura Elizabeth.
Hey, Laura.
Okay.
Hello.
I uploaded the wrong video. I am so sorry. We will show your book. That one was not it. So
I'm like, wow, that's such a nice cover. But that's not the nice cover.
But you've got your book, Laura, though, so that's the thing.
I do.
Yes, please
Show it to
show
us.
it. If you don't mind.
There it
That is the book. Yay!
Yes,
Special
correct
kind of
book.
heartache.
So it was my error. I titled both files the same one. I don't know why. So okay.
Okay.
All
You're
right.
still on vacation. You're still on the
Yes.
boat. That's what it is.
Fair. That's fair.
I think that's fair. I'll be on vacation probably for another week or so. So, but on that note, how are you, Laura?
I'm great. And thank you so much for inviting me here tonight. I'm thrilled to be with you.
Of course, of course. We love your first book. We love the second book. We love your writing. We love you. So of course we love you back. So all right. So obviously you've written another book since you were last here.
Yes.
What before we get to that one, tell us what else you've been working on.
So I've been working on a lot of things since I was here last. So we've been taking All Is Now Lost, Book 1 in the Island Mystery Series everywhere.
Awesome.
We did right around the time that I was with you ladies last time, we were doing Murder Mystery Dinner Theater on that book. And I was lucky enough to have the same production company and the same location make an offer to me to do 4 shows of A Special Kind of Heartache. So I've been working on the script for that, and I have to write the script. That's the only caveat. I have to write some more. And so I wrote the script, and we are just beginning the process of auditions and all of those fun things. So that was in March of last year, and this show upcoming will be in March 2025.
All right.
So for 4 shows in north of Georgia, north of Atlanta, in North Georgia, in the hills of North Georgia, at a vineyard called Kaya Vineyards. I've also been teaching classes at the University of South Carolina on writing, and which has been a lot of fun. I'm doing another one in the early spring of next year. So that's been fun. I've been out traveling, meeting people, just trying to find new ways of connecting with readers and just enjoying all the places I've been, the people I've met. It's really been great.
Awesome.
That is awesome. So, all right. So tell us about this book in the series.
So this book is, it was a challenge I didn't expect to have. So it is a series. They are standalone books. So you do not have to read book 1 in order to read book 2. But I wanted to, one of the pieces of feedback that I got the most out of book 1 was people writing saying they love the characters. They love the characters. They wanted to know more about the characters. And they felt that the island was a character. And so writing book 2, the challenge was, how do I keep those characters going and build on them, define them more, offer more to the readers, but without starting all over again and telling people, why are they on this island? How did they come to be? How do they know each other? How do I build on that relationship and not tell the same story all over again? So I did that through dialogue, really having the characters step forward with their dialogue and build their relationship with each other through dialogue. And it's the thing I like the best about writing is having the characters have their own unique voice. And I love kind of imagining what they look like and sound like, and then how they speak. Is it true to themselves? And I think that's one of the things that makes me enjoy these murder mystery dinner productions so much, is seeing the characters in real life and having them be real outside of my mind, you know. So it's having them be saying the words and doing the actions. And so in this book, I had a little bit more of playfulness between the characters as well. And one of the things that was subtle, but the protagonist in book 1 arrives on the island kind of mapping out her new life. She's recently widowed, and she has to kind of figure out, what is phase 2 as a middle-aged woman? What is this going to be for her? Who is she now that she's not as she always was, part of a relationship, somebody's mother, like caregiving, how she wasn't a professional person with roles and responsibilities. So she's kind of mapping out, even though the island was familiar to her because she had a summer home there or beach house, how is it now that she lives there all the time and doesn't have the social network that she had in her former life.
Right.
So she solved the crime primarily on her own. She had a little bit of help from her friends, but now some time has passed on the island in book 2, and she's developed these friendships, and she's kind of become more woven into the fabric. And this time it's not just her show and her world to kind of stumble around. She's now part of a group of people, her community, what she had been seeking, and they work together with their own skills and their own talents and their own faults and their own blessings that they bring, their own imperfections to meld it together to be this group of, they're better together than they are alone. So,
definitely.
So I that's it was like an important message for me, was that, we kind of a lot of times get siloed in what we're doing. And, living on a bridgeless island, you have to really kind of rely on people, even if you don't want to. And so, you might need your people, and you have to find those people, and your people might not be who you think that they are going to be. So,
right.
So it's different. It builds on that. And the beta readers have been like, we want more character. Like, oh, let me tell you about my characters. So it's been fun.
That is awesome. And I would say it is a fun beach read. It is just comforting in returning to the characters that have already been established.
Yes.
And then again, like you said, the island itself is a character. I would move to an island in a heartbeat if I could. That's not quite yet what I can do. So this is a good substitute.
Away from us, Ruth?
As long as you have internet, don't worry about
it. So you said it was a challenge to introduce, so making each book a standalone. So creating a new mystery, how was that process?
So this time what I wanted was, I get these ideas, like, I'll hear something that happens and I think like, that's a good one. And so, I don't want it to be predictable, for, so obvious of what it's going to be. That's the challenge always, I think, in a mystery, is the pacing. Like, how are you putting things down where people are not like, okay, well, like what, like, tell us now, what is it? Or, oh, I already know, so I don't have to finish the book. It's getting people to walk alongside of you. So this story came to me. We keep a little list of people that were like, oh, well, like in the first book, there was a real estate person that had kind of, done something to us that we were like annoyed with or whatever. And so when we were thinking about what could be a possible story, we're like, oh, okay, this is it. And so this idea kind of came from talking to people or whatever, but the idea of having the group of women come together and have challenges within the group, having been friends for a long time and knowing people at different phases of their life, presents its own challenges. Because sometimes you think you just know because you've known this person so well and so long that you know all of their things that they're thinking and harboring. And it turns out like maybe you don't really know. And so I think there's a lot of nuanced messages in the book, even though it's less than 200 pages long. There's a lot of nuances there that sometimes old friendships, you nurture them from where you started and not where you are today. And so you have to kind of be true to, as you grow in those relationships, commit to continue growing. That you're not just that 20-year friendship from years ago. And
Yeah.
I think it's important that you also, and this was like some of the story as it developed for me, was that you have those opportunities to see people for who they are today. And that, I think, is hard, especially in close friendships, that you look through the lens of what it was or what it should have been or what you had hoped it would be. So, so there's some other messages as well in the story that I hope people pick up. In the first book, I was really trying to establish, it was almost like an homage to my mom, who was a single parent, of knowing how difficult it is to raise children alone and what it is to be a widow. Sometimes you're not part of a couple group. And so in this book, it was less about that part of her life. She had a little bit more time, not that you're get used to it, but she's been the shock and the hurt, that rawness is a little bit soothed. And so she's now kind of finding her way through this. So,
but I like the fact that you did not ignore it, though. You still saw her a little troubled and still trying to figure some things out.
Right.
But yeah, it was good. Can I just jump in real quick? Just real quick. I love that part about the female friendship, that the girls trip aspect of it. And I wanted to ask you, was that based on something that you had done yourself? Have you been on many girls trip? Did you take it from something in your life?
Yeah, I have been on girls trip, but not, fortunately, not like that. But we had been on one in Williamsburg, Virginia. It was a little bit bigger than this little foursome that went. But there were a lot of dynamics that, kind of bubbled up. And from things that maybe shouldn't have been problems or challenges that bubbled up from what I used to say to my children when they were little, like sleepover syndrome, like you had a little bit too much togetherness. And so
each other's nerve.
All of a sudden you can't wait to get home. So, that wasn't this, but I did kind of want to study the dynamic of those long-time friendships that and how they present. Like, here's a challenge that they were faced with, and they all tried to solve it differently.
Yes.
There was like the control freak, there was the hands off, there was like the school marm, kind of like trying to get the people together. So in times that we have the difficulties, it's people's reactions aren't always prescriptive. And here is somebody who's an amateur sleuth trying to process all of this in real time. Like, what is significant? What is just quirky? What is just, like, it doesn't matter. And she was really trying to make the case of some of these things are important. And I guess it's up to, to the readers to decide, was it important? Did it really scope out, like, did it change the end result?
Yes.
All right. So let's back up a little bit. You said now you had been teaching classes at the University of South Carolina. So how do you go from writing to teaching it?
So I thought, well, this would be fun. Let's like try this. And how hard could it be? It's pretty hard. What I really wanted to get across in my course was, first of all, developing strong characters, each with their own voice. And I would tell the students in the class, I'm not an expert by any means, but what I am is somebody who studies people. All my life, I've always been fascinated by people. I love meeting people and being open to new experiences. And I love learning from other people. So because I approach people with an open mind and an open heart, I very often learn something. Some things I maybe didn't want to know, but I would at least be open to hearing it. And so, so that has helped me, I think, in my little segment of writing, is drawing from what I've learned from other, like observing people and interacting with people. And so it's really important for me to have a course that talked about character development and developing voice to characters. So I gave examples of things that I do. Like if I hear phrases, if I hear the way somebody puts words, their pattern, their method of speaking, and it's interesting to me, I'll write it down and I'll keep it for either like a script or you know, a story, because I've learned something from that person, you know, and or the way they space nouns and adjectives together, or how they what colorful language people use. So I love that. I love listening to podcasts. I love listening to, you know, things on the radio and just hearing patterns of speech and things. So we talked a lot about that, but it wouldn't be a talk if I didn't talk about Defusky, because I love it so much. And so I spent a lot of time, I don't know, selling real estate. I don't know, in my presentation, like with pictures and really trying to convey what we felt that first visit there, where we had never been there and we didn't know anything about it and didn't know anyone who had been there. So we went really as blank slates and feeling this pull to this place, even though it's not always perfect and it's sometimes hard and, you know, sometimes frustrating. And like we rented a place one time and there was a power outage and they had the, you know, digital like keypad, and we got locked out of our own place.
Oh my goodness.
You know? So we had to hoist my daughter through like the laundry room window. We had to like break into our own vacation rental. So, you know, it's not always perfect and prescriptive, but it's fun and incredible and ultimately restorative. And to feel that pull in this place is just the privilege of a lifetime, to be able to write about it and have people read about it and say like, I want to go there too, and or I want to find my place that makes them feel that way. And it's like that commonality I think that people are searching for, is finding home wherever it is.
Exactly. So that's awesome.
Finding home.
Yep. Andrea? Andrea?
My turn. Okay. I do have a couple of questions for Laura, but I'm trying to be conscious of and cognizant of time, because it goes by so fast.
I know.
I want to make sure that we hear Laura's voice tonight. Yes. And I know that you have picked out a little portion of your book to read to us, and you know, if we have time after that for my two little questions, that's okay. And if not, I got that joy from hearing you. So,
well, I'll be quick. So the passage I'm going to read is a dialogue between Carr, who is the main character, and her coworker in her bookshop. His name is Trip, and Trip is struggling with a decision that he has to make about staying on the island, because he's had some challenges in his life, and this whole thing about murders on the island, oddly enough, is upsetting to him. So he's trying to figure out what he's doing, and she's concerned about her friend. So this little bit is in the bookstore. So it's about halfway through the book, and it starts with Carr, who says, "Trip, I'm worried about you. You've been on my mind since last night, and it's just," I started. He started just a split second after me. "I have something I need to tell you." We looked at each other, and the weight of that phrase halted my words. "You first," I said, quieter, far less confident than I had been just a minute ago. I moved to the club chairs in the front of the register and sat on the edge of the cushion. Trip remained at the counter, his hands locked onto its rounded edge. "Julie's words," he began and stopped. I wasn't sure if he could hear my heart pounding as I braced for him to tell me that he didn't sign up for being part of a detective agency, that he doesn't want to live with uncertainty and the influx of crime and mystery. I was not ready for another loss, but I prepared, or I tried to prepare, to hear whatever he needed to say. Julie's words should not have affected me like that. She didn't say anything except that she wanted me to be included. At the heart of it, I've been trapped in the post-grief world of losing my wife and my daughter and not allowing myself to move forward. Frankly, I'm kind of sick of it all myself. I'm sorry I've been like this, a burden in some ways, just frozen from moving forward. I take one step forward and 5 steps back. What did he mean? My heart was racing to a conclusion, a guess of what he was going to say next. I fought the urge to prompt him. Knowing that this was his story and his terms that he was going to set, I remained still and silent. That's all I'm going to tell you.
Foul on the play.
Yes.
The thing about your
Get
book,
the book. You got to get the book so you can read it.
Get the book.
Get the book.
the thing about your books and your characters is they are real, and the experiences that they have and the things that they go through are real,
They're real.
and you're able to insert yourself into that place very often, and say, gosh, when I hear those words, there's something I want to tell you. We all know, at our core what that feels like, regardless
That's right.
of the other side of it. So I love that about your writing and about your stories. Let me give my 2 questions in real quick. Actually, one was going to be about, and you really answered it, that you said that in your series, in the Island series, that each story was going to stand alone. And that's one thing that I wanted to ask you, if it was going to be just a continuation one from the other. How difficult is that? Or is it difficult at all? Because there's some things that will definitely stay the same. The things on the island, some things on the island. I think that probably your bookstore will be an integral and central part, no matter what story that you choose to tell. So is that going to be, do you think it's going to be different? I know you got your 2 books out. I believe you're working on third.
Third, yep.
Yeah. So where are you in that when you begin this next story?
So it is a little challenging to keep it fresh.
Okay.
But from my experiences on the island, it's amazing. It's only 7 miles long, and there's so many things that happen there. So there's always something going on. I think it's not going to be easy to keep it fresh, but there are new perspectives to bring to the table. And so the next story is somebody who has traveled a little bit and has brought some influences to the island. And I think that's what keeps the island, kind of regenerating, is that there are people who ebb and flow. Yes, there are constants, and there are generational people who have lived there, forever. And some people have never, ever left the island one time. So there's that constant. But then there's also the transitional nature of a resort area and people who travel, not only from the visitors, but people who come and go and decide island living isn't for them. So it's always changing. And so I'm trying to pull from that. That's true to the island itself, is that it's always dynamic.
Mm-hmm. Do you have an idea of how many stories there will come from the island?
Well, I don't know, but originally I said between 5 and 8. And so what I don't want is for people to feel like, oh, I know what's going to happen. So if I feel like I've kind of tapped out with all the adventure, then I would maybe spice it up a little bit. But I really believe that I could probably do that and feel good about leaving them in a good place. I've already kind of thought about how would it end, how would the series and what would happen to the characters. So, and how would they exit in a way that's true to how readers know them.
Well, if books 1 and 2 are any example, I think you got a ways to go. On the island for a minute.
Yeah. Like, oh, there's always something happening here. So yeah,
I do want to ask one other thing. You said that you were working with the same production company in the theater, mystery theater. How much input do you have in that?
I have complete input.
Complete. Okay, yeah, so you will be selecting. You'll do the casting call with all of that, and
yeah.
Okay. Wonderful.
Yeah, they do. We do. I provide a lot of input about the what material for them to read, to audition, and then I give them a vision board of what the characters look like and how they sound, and then we do a reading with the cast, and once they've been selected, and then we pick out their costumes and what they wear and what their props are. And like Detective Julie has a notebook that she writes in, and I want it to look like her real notebook, and it's like, why isn't she typing on a tablet? Well, there's not a lot of internet on that. I mean, it's intermittent. So she needs to have something. So it's all those like nuanced things and it was a give up last time. They had her dressed in a sheriff's shirt. And I said, well, on the island, they don't wear uniforms. Like the sheriff doesn't wear a uniform. So I had to concede that it doesn't have to be exact. So, so it's okay. So my type A comes out in full force.
Yeah. Victoria, let me turn it over to you.
I asked my question already.
I know you had more than one.
Well, listening to you talk, I have another one. Can anybody sign up for your class? Can I take it online? Isn't it
only in person?
Oh man!
But if there is, I say that, but if there is the Zoom component to the one, and I don't know if there is the next one, I will let you know, because it is a lot of fun to do. And then this one is going to be on increasing your distribution channels for your books. So how to kind of get your market out there. Like one of the things I'm doing is tours on the island with book clubs. And I have one of them this week. So I've done 2 or 3 of them. Book clubs have contacted me. We've gone around on the island and looked at some of the places that are important, and then we talk about the book, and it's been so much fun to do.
Wow. So you've taken the entire book club, have met you, and you've gone to the island.
Yeah.
We got to put this book on the book club list.
It's so much fun. We rent our little golf carts and we go to all the places. Yeah, and then we have lunch, and so we're ladies who lunch, and we do all just have some laughs, and it's really meaningful to me to see people see the island and through their own eyes and come away with their own feeling.
You never imagined that this would change your entire life when you
first
set foot on that island.
No idea. We weren't even supposed to be there. We were supposed to be going to the Grand Canyon. And
we had been a different book.
I know, probably no book, but we had these 2 crazy dogs that our neighbor was going to watch, and she couldn't. And so we had to find a place that we could go to that was pet friendly, and we Googled it, and that's how we found it. So,
oh my goodness, the power of the Google.
I know. Thank goodness for Google. So, and I was like, I don't know about this place. Like, I don't even know how you say it. Like, are we sure we want to go? We're like, we'll just go. It's 1 week. How bad could it be? We'll just, you can do anything for 7 days. So we're like, it's a vacation. How bad could it be? And we were like, wow. So
you just never know when something is going to come along and just change the trajectory of your life. But I hope that you are writing in your notes in your journal or whatever to make an online version of your class.
I got it.
Okay. Some of us would like to have this about the character development, but that's really all I had. You have, when you were talking earlier, I said she's a people watcher, and so I was going to ask you about it, but you spoke on that.
Yeah,
You
I am.
answered all my questions, and I would just have to say this: I enjoy the books. I love murder mysteries and all that, and your books have every little aspect that I love in them.
Oh, I'm so
And so
glad.
I haven't quite got to the end. I have to admit I haven't got to the end, but I'm going to finish this book. So I want to tell our listeners and our viewers, get the book. Not only get this book, get number one. Get number one and get number two, and grow your series right along with Laura Elizabeth. She is an awesome writer, and as you can tell, your class just seems like be so interesting because you have kept us totally captivated this whole time.
I'm so glad. Thank you.
Tell our listeners and viewers before you go how they can get in touch with you, how they can learn more about the book. And we know your book is available everywhere. I'm sure books are sold.
Yes, it's all the places, Amazon, Barnes & Noble, Books A Million, Apple Books, all of those things. My website is theislandmysteries.com.
All right.
And I'm on Instagram, Facebook, even LinkedIn, which is surprisingly very effective for me. I have a monthly newsletter. I only do one a month, and I love it. People a lot of times will respond and email me, ask me questions. I answer every question that I get. Love it. And so I encourage people to reach out to me. That's how the book clubs have found me, is by emailing, and we set up time to do those tours. Wow. So sometimes people just want to know about the island or ask me a question, or even someone asked me for recipes from the things that I mentioned in the book. And
yes.
I'm like, ooh, how fun. So
I can almost smell those pies the first time.
Yeah. So, and actually someone's making in this book, in a Special Kind of Heartache, they make a panzanella salad. And somebody made a panzanella salad and sent me a video of them making it, and which was super fun to see too. And I'm like, I love that. So
recipes of Mungeon Island.
Yes.
Another book.
Maybe.
Oh my goodness.
Let's say yes.
Life has just changed. I love it. I love to hear your story. It is just amazing. I wish you many continued blessings, and we're here for it.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Laura, it has been a joy. It is always a delight to be able to talk with you and those people who are really passionate about what they're doing and who actually enjoy it.
Right.
One part of the process that you're not saying, I love it. I love it. I love talking to the people. I love the recipes. I love the book club.
I do. I love it.
It's amazing. And that is so much, we look for things and life, there's so much that is is more on the half empty side than the half full.
Yeah,
so true.
Depending on the way you choose to look at it. And you have chosen to look at it in a way that just not only brings joy to you, but brings joy to those that you touch with the work that you produce. And I think that's wonderful. And we will definitely be looking into some things. And the next time we think about, should we do a book club, and should we travel, and should we already have those answers.
Yeah. We're going to South Carolina
tonight, Laura.
Come on, ladies.
We're going.
Is there any final word that you would like to leave with our listeners and viewers? We got some great folks on the line. You see Serena is there. Ms. Nikayetta is there. Linda's in the house tonight. Yeah. Lynette's in the house tonight. And just, is there anything in particular? Could be about life, could be about writing, could be about joy, could be about anything. Is there anything you want to leave with our listeners and viewers tonight?
The only thing that I would say is, first, thank you for including me tonight. And secondly, I'm certainly not an expert, but I would say if someone asked me, what is the one thing that you would do? I would say yes to the opportunities. You know, if you feel that you have a book to write the book, tell the story, go on the trip, say yes, you know, meet the new person, put yourself out there. You just never know what could happen. It might not be the way you intend it, but it might be even more than what you intended. So
just change your life, right?
Right. If you don't do it, the answer will always be no. So, but if you do it, it might be yes. So do it.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Laura. And Ruth, you always have something at the end.
Of course.
Podcast. Sometimes it's premature on my part, but
okay. So if you have any questions, we want to thank, first of all, we want to thank Laura. Thank you so much for joining us on the show tonight. We thoroughly enjoy having you on, enjoy your books, and we totally recommend them. Want to thank our listeners and our viewers for joining us. If you have any questions about tonight's show, if you have any questions about how to be on our show, email us at authorsup@gmail.com. We look for your emails. So we are also on social media. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. Look for Authors Up or Authors Up Show. There you can follow, subscribe. We got content, videos from former shows. Join us. So we do a replay of this show, specific Sunday night show, on Saturday on Facebook. Otherwise, you'll find it uploaded midweek on YouTube, or you can take our podcast along with you. So there you go.
Well done, Ruth.
All right.
And that is it for us for tonight. We thank all of you who joined us this evening, and those of you who will follow, because I believe that you will begin to follow Laura's Island Mysteries, because they really, really are good stories. And I know that you will enjoy them as much as we do. At least I believe that you will. There will be another one coming up very soon. So you know what that means. You got to catch up on this island. This stuff is happening, you know.
Yes, that's right.
So as Victoria says, get the book so you will not be behind. So that is it for us for tonight. We hope that you have decided to make Authors Up your favorite place to be at 7 p.m. on Sunday evenings. It surely is ours. And we just appreciate all of you who join us week after week, and those of you who have, set your alarms and made us a favorite. There's so much more. Let me tell you, we have some exciting authors and books coming up before the end of this year. You don't want to miss the dramatic read of The Train. I am not even going to tell you who one of the authors are that's coming up very soon. It's just mind-blowing. God is doing some amazing things, and he's not leaving you all out. We get to go, you get to come along, and it's all going to be great. And as Laura says, we like it. We're having fun with it. We want you to enjoy it as much as we do. So that's it for the evening. Again, Laura, thank you so much. And thank you for saying yes.
Yeah. Thank you.
Because it's wonderful. It's wonderful. That's it. Come on back next week and join us. 7 p.m. You never, ever know what's going to happen. Tune into Authors Up. It's a surprise to us.
That's right.
Times, and it may
babies and boats. You never know.
That's it for us for the evening. Good night, everybody. Have a
night, prize girls.
Amazing week. And hopefully we'll see you next weekend. 7 p.m. right here.